This is ShadowQuant, Market Brief, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Thursday, July 30, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Equities finished the session in the red, but the real market-moving event is happening after the bell. Amazon and Apple are delivering strong post-close earnings beats, sparking a snapback rally in the S&P and NASDAQ. Yet, with the VIX still elevated and inflation data due tomorrow, the market's recovery remains fragile. Let's break down the numbers.
The S&P 500, tracked by SPY, closed at $72.46, down 1.54%. The Nasdaq 100, tracked by QQQ, fell 2.04% to $661.73. The Dow Diamonds dropped 2.18% to $515.41. Small caps, tracked by the Russell 2000 ETF IWM, were down 1.64% at $288.57.
While the broad indices took a hit during the day, the narrative shifted entirely after the close. Let's look at the corporate results driving that reversal.
The headline story is Apple. Shares are jumping after hours following strong earnings and a revenue beat. This marks Tim Cook's last earnings release as CEO, adding significant weight to the report. Simultaneously, Amazon shares are also up after hours on strong earnings and a revenue beat. These two megacap tech names are providing the lift for the after-hours snapback.
Corporate results are stabilizing sentiment, but the macro backdrop remains tight. Let's get the economic data. The macro environment is sending mixed signals. The yield curve, measured by the 10-year, 2-year spread, is flat at plus 0.45 percentage points as of today, July 30th, which the data flags as a cautionary signal. Inflation remains above the Federal Reserve's 2% target. The Consumer Price Index is at 3.46% year-over-year, and core personal consumption expenditures are at 3.29% year-over-year. With inflation data due tomorrow and the BOJ decision tonight, risk management is key. Spectre, what's on the radar?
The primary risk signal here is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which is at 14 out of 100, indicating extreme fear. While the VIX has pulled back from its highs, the underlying sentiment remains deeply risk-off. The flat yield curve and sticky inflation readings above the Fed's target create a headwind for equities. If the PCE data tomorrow comes in hot, the after-hours rally could reverse quickly. The market is technically recovering, but the fundamental risk premium is still elevated.
A fragile recovery. Let's look at what to watch next.
Here are 3 things to watch this week. First, the US ISM Manufacturing PMI and PCE price index on July 30th. These will determine if the Fed's inflation fight is won or lost. Second, the Bank of Japan rate decision at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Any surprise in policy could ripple through global liquidity and FX pairs, particularly dollar-yen. Third, monitor the after-hours performance of Amazon and Apple. If they hold their gains into Friday's open, the S&P 500 may test the upper end of its daily range near $742.
If you're finding value in this analysis, support the project at patreon.com/ShadowQuant. Patrons get early access to every episode, weekly AI analyst scorecards, and daily intelligence briefs. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, hit that follow button and leave a rating. It helps more traders discover the show. We appreciate you. This is an AI-generated market briefing by ShadowQuant. All information is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Market Brief. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.